Well, the popularity of the yes case, according to polls, is decreasing ever so slightly. But would it be naive to think that that is a trend, that the popularity of the voice can't bounce back in some way?
It probably will bounce back to the extent that the government will begin an advertising campaign. It's meant to be neutral, but I don't believe that. And there is this big money flowing into the yes case by CEOs who buy forgiveness of their sins or whatever. Churches are pitching in and various charitable money left in charitable organisations. So it might kick up again, but I think the yes case is very thin, or rather, well, the case is thin, but the support for it, according to our research and anyone we talk to, it's thin. It's just a feeling we'd like to help. We're saying, you recognise it that way, yeah, we want to help too, but the Albanese package is not the way to do it. In fact, it will destroy reconciliation, if that's an important thing. Frankly, we already think we are reconciled with the fact that 70% of Aboriginal marriages with another Aborigine means I think we're reconciled, okay? But in formal terms, what is dividing us and putting a race-based voice in the Constitution going to do for reconciliation? Well, it'll smash it.
Just before we move on to, the arguments themselves, but just looking at it again from a marketing perspective, this is timed, the actual referendum is timed to happen soon after the end of the footy season, and if I'm not mistaken, the two major codes will be dragged into this to be very emphatic promoters of the Yes campaign. Do you think they'll have an influence? I think they could. I mean, it could be huge.
Fred, they could, but people do distinguish between that big burly bloke on the ground running around whom they adore to touch down the footy or kick it through the goals. When they get off, and they start to sort of say, oh, it was a game of two halves, it was really good and all that sort of stuff, they're not credible. They're just not credible. I think once the penny drops, this is about constitutional change, people think, oh, hang on, this is fair income, this is the rule book. And all of that palaver that will come from the footy codes and other sporting codes, I think, will drop away. So my view, even in marketing terms, the footy codes are going to do themselves a lot of damage by trying to interfere with the rule book of Australia and to make it unfair. Now, Australians will not appreciate that. You don't run onto the footy field and have it tilted or have the rules in one direction or one's allowed to go offside and the other isn't. Depends on the footy code there. They'll just see it. And so our marketing terms, I tell you what, will be very straight between the eyes as we get closer to the vote. Right now, we just want to educate people and let them understand the arguments and the size of this package that the Albanese government is suggesting. But come closer, we will sharpen the tools and make sure people know when they go into the ballot box, it's a tick for the no case.